Kenyatta. And also, this is in addition to some of the Raila's henchmen like, Adam Solo, and also the balancing of this Uhuru's appointment is another failed attempt for the ruling class led by President William Samoei Ruto to try and reconsolidate the ruling class to win political power whenever elections is called, whether it's in 2027 or before that. We have continued to insist that the visiting of the former head of state and the current head of state and the head of opposition with mainly the United States Secretary Blinken. We have also seen that the new ambassador of the United States continues to pay homage to the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, William Samoei Ruto, and of course the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. It only means that imperialism is in a crisis in our country, and the United States have continued to bring the consciousness to the ruling class that they need to unite or perish. The unity that we are seeing between Uhuru Kenyatta and his boss and his former boss, that means William Samoei Ruto and his former boss, and Raila Amolo Odinga. And this is being facilitated by mainly the United States representatives in the country, and sometimes they manage to send a few people like Blinken or the head of the CIA, or we have even seen Olusegun Obasanjo coming here to make sure that the political class are working in one thought in the interest of the United States imperialism. So the consolidation is actually to attack the majority of the Kenyan people. So this confirms the Communist Party Marxist analysis that William Samoei Ruto will not stop killing people. He will not give dignity to the majority of the people, making sure that he's able to build industries. He will not rest the demands, even though we are happy that the judicial system has been another force in terms of neutralizing President William Samoei's anti-Ruto policies. But remember, even the new university funding model has been rejected by the High Court. And this is just another phenomenon, because we know that the courts at the highest level are very corrupt. So we know that this Supreme Court can be returned. In actual sense, the President of the Supreme Court has a historical... It's important to acknowledge that the new appointments and cabinet reshuffle that has managed to return some of the most corrupt people, and not even just corrupt people, some of the people that are actually should be tried on issues to do with criminals. Remember, Murkomen, for a fact, who was the head of the transport when the GNC uprising started, and he was one of the corrupt politicians that were living lavish life at the expense of the majority of the Kenyan. Now he has been rewarded in the Ministry of Interior, replacing Professor Kindiki, who is also culpable for murdering young people during the GNC uprising. But what should not even take Kenyans by surprise, that the Communist Party Marxist also analyzed that President William Samoei Ruto want to return us to the dark Moi eras of tribal politics. If you look at Lee, for example, Kinyanjui comes from Nakuru. If you look at one Kabogo coming from Kiambu, you look at Mutai Kagwe, the former health minister when there was a lot of scandal, what we call the COVID-19 billionaires, comes from Nyeri. It only confirms that the President William Samoei Ruto is appointing tribal leaders to try and reconsolidate votes from Mount Kenya. However, the majority of the Mount Kenya people know clearly very well, and I've even told him that even if he wants to appoint Uhuru Kenyatta back to his government, there will be no change, and his government has lost totally from the majority of the residents of the Mount Kenyan people. So William Samoei Ruto is out of touch with people. He's so captured by the foreign interest, and they cannot do anything to benefit the Kenyan working class or the rural poor people. And this is what we continue to insist, that this reconsolidation of the ruling class definitely will lose, just like when Raila Amolo Odinga tried to climb the mountain in the run-up in the last election. He tried to climb the mountain only with Mount Kenya billionaires, and he failed flat. President William Samoei Ruto will fail flat, and the Kenyan people will triumph.